What up? I'm just gonna make a quick video about basic chord theory so that you can refer to these chords in a way that every musician who understands chord theory will know exactly what you're talking about. It just makes communicating as a musician a lot easier, which I think is just so important. So we're gonna start with the key of A minor. The reason we're gonna start with A minor is just because it's literally just all white keys, no sharps or flats. But I will recommend you should memorize all of the different keys. It's super easy, honestly. It'll help you out so much just writing chord progressions, and you won't feel stuck in one key that you kind of have down. Just learn them all. I know there's a lot of chord tools and stuff that can just give you the answers, but if you memorize them, you'll be able to take these ideas and just whatever instrument you want to pick up, you can pick it up and you can understand exactly what's going on. You just find all the notes within a minor key, and especially if you train your ears to recognize them, you'll be good to go writing on any instrument. A minor is just A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then back to A. You'll find that every single minor key has 8 notes in it, but the 8th note is technically the 1, so it's like 7 notes, but you'd refer to every single A as the 1. And so sometimes you'll hear musicians talk about a chord progression and be like, oh, it's a 1, 6, 4, 5. And understanding that is so easy because it's really just, instead of referring to these as letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, we're going to call them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1 again. And that repeats as you go up as many octaves as you can go up or down. Same exact concept. So if we have a say 1, 6, 4, 5, which is like a crazy common progression across every genre of music, it'd be literally referring to 1 A, 6 F, 4 D, E, 5. From there, you can start to branch them into chords. So like I said, recognizing that minor scale, you're probably closer to recognizing it than you think. Because if I bump any one of these notes out, you'll be able to hear it. Listen to just this straight A minor scale. You probably recognize that. Watch what happens if I just bump one of these out. You'll be able to notice. It sounds funky if I bump this one out. Not saying it sounds bad, I'm just saying it's not the key of A minor anymore. Learning to recognize that, minor and major, to start is going to help you out a ton, because then you'll just be able to know by using your ear that something's a little bit off. So moving on to here, I just wrote out a quick little chord progression, which is an A, C, F, E. So if we're talking about the numbers, like which is what I'm going to be referring to all these chords as, it's a 1, 3, 6, 5 progression. It's a cool progression, but it's just single notes right now, and so a chord's obviously defined as like 2 or more notes hitting together. And so going on to here, I just put a 5th on top, and the reason it's called a 5th is because it's literally the 5. If we go back here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've heard people say like it's a 5th chord, and that just means a 1 and a 5. Same thing with a 3rd, 1 and a 3, a 4th, 1 and a 4. That's pretty self-explanatory. And so these chords right here are 5th chords, all of them. A and E, C and G, F and C, E and B. Memorizing those as well is going to help you out a ton. Is just memorizing the 5th of everything. So you could say any note and you would automatically know the 5th of that note. That'll be really helpful because that's sort of the most standard form of a chord. It's just a 1 and a 5. And the cool thing about it is a 1 and a 5 is just neutral. It's just a neutral chord. So it's not technically major or minor, because the other notes that surround it are what define it as major or minor. So moving on, I put a 3rd in between every single one of these. So now we have an actual A minor chord, C major, F major, and then E minor. Now we have a 1, 3, 6, 5 progression in A minor. Going on one step further, this is the last one that I'm going to talk about, is just, we can even add on top of that, you've heard major or minor 7 chord. For example, if we have an A note, the 7 of A is a G. If we go all the way back to the beginning, 7 of A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is a G. To make a minor 7th chord, all you're gonna do is just, put that 7 on top of the 1, 3, 5, and you'll have a 7th chord. Same thing right here, same thing right here and here. That's really it. You can keep going. Let's just put, let's put a 9 on top of it. So now we have a minor 9th chord, because the B, actually this is something I'll say really quick. If we were to just keep going, B, C, D, filling in every white key, going up and up, it's the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 octave. which is 1. And then we've got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And so you can make these giant chords and know exactly how to refer to them just based off of which ones you're including. So right here we have, an A minor ninth, because there's a B on top of the 3, 5, and 7, and we could keep going with that. The last thing I'll say is that the reason I always explain this concept within A minor is that we can bump this around. Say I drop this A down to a G. Now we know the exact key of G minor, just like that. G, A sharp, C, D, D sharp, F, G. Keep going. Like, let's do a weird key like G sharp minor, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G. And so as you start to learn these, first thing is start to memorize how many sharps or flats each key has. Like G sharp minor, I can just go in and see it has 5 sharps. So if I just memorize that, G sharp has 5 sharps, then you can go back to it and you can memorize that. You'll realize that there is only 5 sharps, and so every single one, we basically have mainly all black keys. There's not one that's just black keys all the way across, because there's only 5 and we need 7 notes to create an entire minor key. But that's pretty much the concept right there. It's simpler than a lot of people think. Just memorize the keys one by one and you'll be able to transfer that information to any instrument that you want, however you want to use it. It's how all musicians refer to this stuff, and so you might as well learn it so that we can all kind of get on the same page and be able to communicate that sort of stuff with each other. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.